What's happening, everybody? True Evil here, and today I want to talk about what the best persona is to level up at the sort of mid game right now, which is the level 40 mark for Wonder. What is the persona that's really going to help maximize your team and get the full potential for that next week or so? And the best one to level up, and personally the first one I think you should go for, is going to be the one that maximizes off of Sennight Inferno. Now, if you don't know what this weapon is, you get it once you explored the first palace up to 50%, and it really makes Wonder start doing amazing amounts of damage. Not only does it increase his attack significantly, and he gets a damage increase for each different type of persona he has, so he can get a minimum of an 18% damage increase, and with each shard that you find of the weapon, it's going to go up even more. And then if you knock a foe down, it decreases their defense. So because of that, not only do we want personas that are of different types, but we want a persona that allows us to have weakness to a lot of enemies. And due to that, the first two personas that we get for free that are strong is, of course, Wonder's main persona, as well as this one, which we get off the plans. Now, this one is incredibly strong because it does give that defense down, which is something that is a little bit hard to get at the beginning of the game, because a lot of the sort of 4-star characters are buffers like Leo and Tomoko, and these are the characters that we're going to be using as our supports mainly, as well as Key. But I do not have the fire support, so I've been rocking Tomoko mainly, and I like having Tomoko versus a specific attribute. So if if Panther isn't good enough, then I can switch off to someone like Shiratori, and I'm not really stuck to using just Panther because there are some fire resistant enemies. Now, what I was saying before, we want to maximize Inferno as well as have the 3 different typings. So right now we have 2 types, and by far the best one to maximize DPS in my opinion is going to be White Rider. And the reason why White Rider is so amazing is when you're looking at the personas, what I want you to really look at is not so much their skills per se, but what their effect does. And for here, we increase ailment accuracy by 20%, as well as after using a skill on a foe, it increases the curse damage taken per stack of curse. So if he can give a lot of status ailments as well as giving a lot of curse stacks, he's going to be miles ahead better. And the most important thing to note is that he is able to have multiple types of really strong multi-target attacks. So he is covering ice and lightning, and this is really important typings to have because of the other characters in this game that aren't necessarily the best at dealing damage, like Closer, we're able to get this electric attack. And if we are using Closer, her electrical damage bonus is also going to apply to this attack. And even though that some of these effects are a little bit low, we have that ailment accuracy that's going to help. But more importantly, we don't really need to worry about that. What we need to see is how insane this debuff is, which not only are you dealing the curse damage, which it might look low because it's 61%, but it's always guaranteed to inflict 1 or 2 curse stacks. And because of that, we're just going to get this huge damage increase. And more importantly, damage increase is significantly stronger than, say, just like an attack up, because the attack up is going to go through multipliers, whereas damage is just increasing that final damage output. So having something like Battle Acumen, where you're just increasing the total amount of damage, as well as this curse damage, it's just going to make him really, really pop off. And this is going to be super important if you didn't pull Joker. Like, for example, I am saving for Barry at this point, so I don't really have a curse multi-target DPS. This covers all those aspects of I didn't pull Joker, as well as just gives a lot of targeting. And the other thing I want to talk about when looking at these personas for later in the game is to look at the strengths and weaknesses. As you can see that White Rider is strong against 3 different types and is only weak to one. And this is especially important in this game because a lot of these later stages, there's going to be multiple typings that might throw you off if you have a character like the main persona, where if you look at this, has two weaknesses, and wind and lightning actually come up a whole lot. So this might not be the ideal situation. You want to make sure your character is strong against multiple things, where, here we're only strong against bless, and well, bless is just not used a lot. So this is just like you this is a really important one because getting knocked down and hit for weakness can really change the tides of battle. So not only does Hellrider cover the strengths and weakness portion, he has an amazing ability and he has a wide range of attacks. So that's why I think everyone should build Hellrider at the beginning. But if you don't want Hellrider, or you want a character that has some combos with, say, Panther, because you pulled Panther, the other character I would recommend building besides White Rider and Cydia is going to be Lamia. Let me find her. And the reason why Lamia is so good is not necessarily because she is just a straight up fire DPS. It's because she has a lot of strengths here, only one weakness, but her ability, where she's going to have extremely high chance of inflicting burning, but more importantly, she gives that attack up while they're burning. So not only are you a fire DPS, but you're also increasing the attack that you're doing. So basically, you have all these skills that pretty much are going to make it so you're guaranteed to inflict burning. For example, here, if no foes are burning, this chance is doubled, so we have an 85% chance on top of that 35, so 100% chance of inflicting burn. And this is going to combo with Panther, as Panther increases fire damage, yada yada yada. So if you don't want to build Hellrider, or you already have a Joker and you don't want to double down on the curse, Lamia is definitely that fire DPS for you. So this is what I would recommend at this stage of the game, up until probably until we unlock rank 6 personas. I think these are just really great starter ones to build for your first main long stay personas in this game. Now, the reason why I think it's important to build these early on and just prioritize DPS is that the best part about Wonder is he can also be a supporter unit. Unfortunately, there's not really a great persona at the beginning of the game to use him as a supporter, as well as the weapon that makes him a supporter type character isn't unlocked until later into the second palace. So just because of availability, I really recommend not trying to make him a supporter character and to use a character like Leo or Tomoko to fill that gap until he is ready to get the job done. So that's all there is for today. Hope this helps, and let me know if you have any questions. See you next time.